Hi everybody, this is Enlightening Asia, and we've got another program today which is highly interesting and informative. I'm Stella, your host, and Lai Peng.
Hello.
And this is Dr. Palmoni from Emet University. He's the Vice Chancellor. And we have a student currently at Emet University, Miss Veronica.
Hi.
Hey. So, Veron, can you let us know a little bit first about your studies at Emet University?
Sure. I'm very thankful that I found this course. I have been learning with Emet University for the past 6 years, and I have benefited tremendously, especially to be under the guidance of Dr. Palmoni. It is a very, very systematic research course and very detailed. I managed to explore a lot of the secrets and mysteries of the wisdom by his guidance, as well as for me is more of to discovering myself in a deeper level. So yeah, the Emet University has been around since 2001, and it started by Dr. Palmoni, and currently is in 12 different countries already, such as France, UK, Germany, USA, Canada, Holland, Denmark, Switzerland, Australia, South Korea, Hong Kong, Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia, and other countries.
Yeah. All over the world.
Wow. Yes. Yes. And Dr. Palmoni is actually our senior professor and also the Vice Chancellor of Emet University. And currently, in our training, Dr. Palmoni is training us in 4 different literatures, such as Hebrew literatures, Greek literatures, the ancient Veda Sanskrit literatures, as well as the Arabic literatures. And Dr. Palmoni is specialized in comparative religions.
Dr. Palmoni, would you like to talk a little bit about Emet University, like how it started? You started Emet University, right?
Not only me, along with me, about 11 scholars worldwide, we started together at Emet University.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
And
what was the inspiration?
Yeah, what was
basically
the inspiration
to form this university? Really, what compelled you?
It's a good question. I've been in the teaching line worldwide about 28 years. Yeah. I did my degree and a master degree in Indian universities. Then I did my doctoral programs in States as well as European countries and Scandinavian countries. So quite a bit of time I've been teaching in different schools and universities as a consultant professor on comparative studies, things like that. Then the time has come, in the year of 1999, we thought better to start our own program and giving the different type of courses to the people worldwide with the purpose of trying to help them the power which is lying deep down the secrets of the ancient Vedic books, literature. So the people will benefit it in the personal life or the family or even a secular life. Practical application of the mystical power of the secrets lying down in this kind of a literature. So that's the purpose of the Emet University. We do that. Yeah. So since 1999, initiated by 12 of us. But anyhow, still they are there. And then, they want me to be the vice chancellor of the university. So, second of the university. So we have a chancellor, well-learned man, and living in Paris. And we have a pro-chancellors, come from different parts of the world. Then we have, we have a senate, syndicate, and academic council of the universities. We have hundreds of coordinators who coordinate the research program in a different parts of the world, and we have a directors, 100 over directors of those programs in a different level. 12 different schools and departments we have. So we try to include as much as possible almost all the areas, fields of the subjects through our university, and give them some sort of enlightenment, things like that. So take an example, each and every department we have schools, like a school of astronomy. We have about 12 directors, all are 2 or 3 PhD holders, and working with us and doing the research in their respective schools. This is what we do there. So we spend our lives, we can say that so many years in doing the research and bringing forth the secrets and mystical power lying down in the ancient wisdom and ancient Vedas through some sort of a mathematical system which will be practically applicable and easily understandable to the people. Mm-hmm. So not simply giving some sort of subjects. Of course, we offer some degrees, master degrees, the doctoral programs in that. So this is all about the Emet University.
Okay. So the courses available on in Emet University, are they all, the originating from the ancient Vedas or ancient wisdom materials or the literature?
Exactly. So each and every religions and people groups in the world, they have a different kinds of their own Vedas. For example, the Muslim friends, they have Al-Quran, Hadith, the Vedas. The Hindu friends, they have some sort of Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, and Rig, Yajur, Sama, Adhavana Vedas like that. Christians, they have Torah, the Old Testament Hebrew literature, and a New Testament Greek literature too. But we in the Emet University, we don't take all. That means it's not possible. Because there are so many religions and a faith and a people like that. There are a lot of books like that. So particularly, we are very much interested to take up one of the oldest literature, oldest Vedas. So we count about 4 Vedas on that. Number 1 is one of the oldest Vedic literature available in the world, accepted worldwide. It's Hebrew books. It's a Old Testament, they call it. Then secondly, the New Testament, the Greek literature, they call it. The third one is Hindu literature, Rig, Yajur, Sama, Adhavana, the books they call it. The fourth one, it's not very old, at least some 1200, 1300 years old, the Arabic literature, the Quran. So we try to compare these kind of things. And for example, what these books are speaking about the light. What these books are speaking about the peace. What the books are speaking about the healing. What the books are speaking about the blessings and the prosperity. What these books are speaking about the way of life and such of things like that. So what these books are speaking about the end of the man, the end of the world. So these are the areas where we concentrate and help the people to understand. And of course we run these things like courses, 1 year courses, certificates, and 2 years courses, diploma, and 3 years courses like a degree. We do that like that. So it can go up to the master's and doctoral program, depending on their time and efforts they invest in this kind of studies. Yeah, but it's not a regular course, regular university law. That means you need to come. It's a kind of off campus or online. So you work and do whatever you want simultaneously. You can do these courses now. Yeah.
Dr. Palmoni, the courses that are offered in Emet University, they're unique in it. It's different from the other courses available in other universities. Can you let us know?
Well, most of the universities where I worked, around 40-50 countries in the past 25 years, most of them, either secular subjects or some of them are religious subjects and things like that. But ours, it doesn't belong to the secular or the religious one. It's a kind of a knowledge we are trying to bring forth. What is inside in the ancient wisdom, ancient literature. So in that particular concept and area, I have not seen any other people, they offer this kind of a courses like that. Yeah, maybe there are very few.
Is it more like a mystical?
Exactly. It's a very much with the secrets and the mysteries and the hidden treasures. Take an example. Of course, there are millions of readers of these books. For an example, their own religions, the Hindu friends, they read a lot of Rikajus. Same way, Muslim friends, every day they recite the Arabic Quran. The Christians, they do that. But, they normally they read it in an open way and try to understand what's exactly the literal meaning of that. But we try to go in depth of what is the spiritual meaning of that and a secret meaning of that. What is a spiritual power within those books and a secret power within those books. So normally general people and general courses, they don't guide you to that kind of things like that. So it's a little bit different type of program than others, no doubt about that.
So anyone can basically join regardless of the religious background, or how does that work?
Exactly. We do not work with any particular religion, as well as myself and more than about 70 to 80 professors working in the university. They come from a different religions, and they come from a different faith, and they come from a different background too. Okay, so we have French scholars and German scholars and UK scholars, British scholars, as well as Sri Lankans and Indians and Chinese and Malays and people like that. So it's a mixture. Here we don't, we don't give importance for a kind of where you come from or something like that, but what you can give it to the world. So we take the talents from a different people and put it together and give it to the world, so that the humans will be benefited of that.
So through all the literature, the four basic main literature is in ancient scripts, there's some commonality and there's some sort of secret that there's a thread throughout.
Exactly. That's what I mean. That see, there are we try to take what are the most useful things for the humans. Okay, in the areas of the health, in the areas of the knowledge, in the areas of the blessings and the prosperity, in the areas of the future happenings. So we take this kind of subjects commonly from these four books, and then compare it, and then try to give you some of that to the people.
Are there any other ancient texts that you do refer to besides these four?
Normally we keep these four at the base, and plus then we quote from some other texts as a supporting ones.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, but we keep these four, the basic ones. Take an example. Let me explain this way. From our in-depth studies and research, more than 30 years in all these books, interesting thing, we found that the Hebrew Vedic literature, Old Testament, and the Greek New Testament, it has all details.
Okay.
How can I explain that? In Sanskrit literature, you find the information here and there, not in order. Yeah. Even in Arabic literature, okay, you find the information about the creation or the some sort of a healing here and there like that. But we found that quite interesting in Hebrew literature, Vedas, the Torahs and everything, the New Testament, the Greek literature and all. You see how the worlds were created, how the humans, the man was created, supporting him, how the skies, the earth, and then the oceans were created, and how the birds, animals, and things were created, and then, okay, how the man is working on the mathematical system in his life, and then how the word comes to him and what happens like that. So it goes through very systematic things like that. And then the end of the New Testament literature, you see that what will happen in the end of the world, and what are the things will come up, and what will be the kings and the kingdoms and the nationalities, and then how would be the destruction of the earth and the oceans and things like that. Now after that, the end of the New Testament literature, it says about after the end of this earth and the world, or whatever it may be, then what will be the new world, new earth going to be started. So that kind of details I can challenge with anybody, any scholars in the world. You won't find it in any other literature.
But
so what?
In this 4?
Only in this 4, but even in the 4, only the Hebrew and the Greek literature, you have it in order, everything. Very systematic, the history and everything. Okay, and in other literature, you can find maybe about 10 to 20% information about all these things. So that's one of the reasons we keep the Old Testament as well as the New Testament, the oldest Vedic literature, as a base, and then compare with the Sanskrit and then the Arabic and the Latin and the literatures like that. Plus, in the second level, we take the quotations and ideas and concepts from the different scholars worldwide they were living from these kind of things like that. So, well, I have not seen take a one subject, creation, protection, and a destruction. That's a one subject. Everybody is interested.
Yes.
Okay. See, take an example. I mean, think about this house. Somebody has constructed. That's a beginning. So now we are using and maintaining that. It's a protection. But maybe after 100 years or 200 years, they come to the end. Same thing with the human life. Born as a baby, creation, growing and things like that. Then finally come to the end, the destruction. Take about any plants, seed, growing, and then the big end. So any part of the world, you see the science is agreeing this point. For anything and everything, material or immaterial or a living one or whatever it may be, there is a beginning, creation. So then it's an ongoing program, maintenance and the protection. There will be an end. So this is the most accepted subject. So when you think about the creation, protection, destruction, for an example, no other Vedic literature, they have a complete details on this, except the Hebrew and a Greek literature like that. Okay. So what we do, take an example, whatever the Sanskrit literature speaks about the creation, we pick it up. Okay. Then we compare with this. So whatever the Arabic literature says, we pick it up and compare this like that. Okay. What's the ancient culture? Ancient wisdom, ancient philosophy, ancient festivals, ancient lifestyle of people. See, these are the areas where we want to give it to the people. Because once you understand how the things were at the beginning, then definitely you will have a good idea about the end of that.
Right.
Where you start, that has to come to the end.
Beginning and end.
Yeah, that's a completion, like that. So now the modern science not able to tell us how the things were created, how these things are going to be destroyed. Each and every scientist, they have their different opinions, and not standard. Mr. A is telling something, and B is coming and changing another one, and C is going on telling another thing like that. Quite on changing the facts like that. But they could be able to tell us the present things. How things are moving and like that, what kind of a sicknesses today like that. And so ours is a little bit deeper kind of a research.
We're wondering that through all this research that you found that it does help the individual in their own healing. So what's the correlation between what you've found out?
As I told you earlier, we are almost into all the fields, different subjects worldwide. like astronomy, geology, and oceanology, arts, science, commerce, and all. And but when you come to the point of the personal benefits, helpful to the personal lives or such things like that, the healing is a very, very important. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is nothing to do with the arts, science, commerce. It's a common need of a person, irrespective of the religions like that. Okay, so when you talk about the secrets of the healing, what we found in these ancient Vedas and wisdom means there are different kinds of healing methods and programs available today. Many. There are many methods, systems to find out the sicknesses as well as giving the people the healings in Chinese herbal medicine, such things like that. Same way with there are a lot of tribal ones with the African method of healing and things like that. A lot of things like that.
So within the literature you have.
Exactly, a lot of things like that. But we do, bring all these type of programs into generally three. One is medical science. Okay, so people, a lot of medical scientists, they go on do a lot of research night and day in different countries, and billions of dollars spent on doing the research about how to get the people are healing like that. It's called the medical science. Okay, number one. But we do not speak very much on this particular area because there are enough research and programs are available on the net and whatever it may be. The second one, like acupuncture, Chinese things like that, and some other, reciting some mantras and things like that in a tribal medicine and everything. This is a second type of healing we see. That's called the gifts of a healing, or a kind of a special power or a superpower in operating the healing the people.
Does that include what the new age sort of like the
there are
alternative?
yeah. That also comes under the second category, energetic and everything like that.
Okay,
Right. So there also we don't talk very much on that because there are a lot of details available, energetic and new age and everything like that. Okay. There's enough material also available, and there are many specialists who can be able to operate that kind of things like that. Okay, but what we found interesting, the first one, medical science of getting healed, or the second way, the gifts and operation of the energetic new age and everything. These two types of healings will help the people. Only the outward healing or the bodily healing. Okay. The third one, which we emphasize through the ancient wisdom, through this literature, that is called O3 word healing. So if you ask me what is a O3 word, so we give an explanation like that. Omnipresent word, omniscient word, and omnipotent word. Okay, what is this? This literature are confirming, even before the creation of the humans and the birds and animals on the earth and skies, this O3 word was present before everything. So this O3 word, it has a power. It has a some sort of mystical healing power which is inside. These books are telling us the O3 word created the skies and the earth and the ocean, created the man and created everything like that. It's interesting. Yeah. And so since the O3 word is a reason for creation or a creator of all these things, so if any problem comes, any sickness comes in the creations, then the O3 word has some sort of a solutions within these books to solve it. Yeah. So this is what we emphasize. We call it a O3 word healing like that. For example, in the New Testament and the Greek literature, it says in Hebrews 11:3, the Word created the worlds. The worlds comes in a cosmos in a Greek. It's in a plural word. What do you mean that? Because we talk about the one world, but here it talks about it in a plural way. So we call it a upper world, middle world, and a lower world. Upper world means the skies. There are three skies. The earth means it's a middle world where we are living. And then the oceans, it's a underworld, we call it like that. So these worlds were created by the word. There are many, many references in a Hebrew and a Greek. Even in a Sanskrit literature, we have references. In Arabic literature. Okay. But people so far, they have not gone in that area. People are thinking, some superpower, a God or something like that created everything like that. But here it says, and the O3 word created everything. And then, in the Hebrew as well as Greek literature, confirming that from the O3 word, before started to create something, the fire comes out of the O3 word. That's a mystical thing. Plus, the water comes out of the O3 word. Finally, the wind, the air comes out of that. Okay? Then the fire and the water and the wind combining together in a mathematical proportions and then create the humans and everything like that. So what do you mean that? Take an example of a body is a mixture of the soil, nothing but a fire, and the mixture of the water and the mixture of the air. Everybody knows that. Okay, so the O3 word, the fire, the water, the wind came from the O3 word. Then if you have a plus or the minus in your body, the water level and water will be, the sicknesses are coming. So again, we have a program from this Vedic literature preparing and sending the O3 word or the mystical power of the O3 word into the human beings so that it can go and clear the problems.
So when you say O3 word, it's just one word?
No.
Or
No, we call it a O3 word means it's a kind of it's not talking about the word literally. It's a kind of verses or the programs or passages from this kind of things. And then take an example. One of the verses in a Hebrew literature says in Psalms 107 verse number 20, and the word is sent forth into the people, and then got them healed and saved them from their destruction. It says like that. Okay. See, even if you call God, these literatures are telling us very clearly no man hath seen God. But either the first man, according to the Torah, Adam and Eve, they have not seen God. They were hearing these O3 words.
They could hear, but not see.
Exactly. You are hearing my words, and you are hearing my words, like that. Yeah. So these words, it has a power. So, and when you are bringing these words into you, so we have a systematic program how you can refill your soul. That's your thinking part. And how you can refill and recharge your spirit. That's a wording part. Then automatically how you can recharge your body with this kind of a O3 word, then that gets all the problems.
So that's the highest form of healing, you would say.
Exactly. Okay. Any kind of a sicknesses, and well, sometimes you may not believe me. I mean, in the sense, what I'm going to say, there is a program which we are doing, about 90% completion of our research, another 10% yet to go. We have invented a man can postpone his death for another 10 years. So the life is something fixed for about 80 years or 90 years. For an example, for a person, he can extend his life, expand up to another 10 years. There is a program here we found in this literature. Yeah, I don't know whether you have a knowledge or heard about. In earlier times, thousands of years back, there was some sort of the high level sages or saints were living long time back, and they were all living about 200 years, 300
Very
years,
long,
500
yes.
years means
Very long
how
years.
they live means
Yeah.
we believe strongly because they practice this kind of a program.
We thought they were like were myths or something.
Exactly.
Weren't sure whether they're real
It seems
or
to be
not.
myths,
Yes.
practical life people
Yeah.
are not able to believe that.
Yeah.
Not in this day and age.
Exactly. Exactly like that. So we are doing we're doing the research on that. Still, yet to complete. Then once we complete, we like to try with some people with
so
a
you
sickness
have
or something.
yeah,
Not yet complete.
ongoing
90% of the
okay.
research completed. So these are all a very mystical things available in this literature. You're right, like that. See, normally, take an example. Many of my students, when they do the PhD, when I was working in other universities in the West, so they were doing something like they study the ancient literature in a literal way. What do you mean that? They just go through what it says and the thesis of those things and the teachings of the Sanskrit literature or Arab literature. They get a PhD in it. But they don't go so deep inside to find out this kind of power, secrets which is inside. So it cannot, even if simply read in an open way, you cannot find out this secret. Because you have to go in. Okay, there is a specialized code number for fire. It's a specialized code number for water. A specialized code number for the wind, which we are well trained. Okay, so with sometimes you won't find exactly the word, but with that numbering system, we can find out that particular word is behind the number. You got it like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is, we call it the ancient wisdom, either in the healing or health or the wealth or the growth or whatever it may be. So this ancient wisdom, mysteries found in this literature, not in an open level, not in an open way, that simply somebody can read and find out like that. It has to go with some sort of passwords, keywords, and encoding systems, and a numbering system, and numerical value.
Okay.
So it is a little bit scholarly type of a research.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's related to the divine math.
First of all, I wanted to be very clear. This is nothing to do with the numerology. So whenever I started to talk about the numbers, people normally, their mind goes to the numerology and things like that. Personally speaking, each and every religion and a people wise, they have their own numbers and systems and explanation like that. Maybe numerology too, but I have not practiced it. I personally do not recommend to apply that kind of things like that, because the systems are very much different from one religion to another religion, and one type of faith people to another type of people. Even the numerical values, they call it different from one country to the another country. Same number 4 or 5 or 6. The different countries, they give a different value of that. Meaning to that like that.
Right.
Yeah. So then they try to apply with that. So if at all your birthday did so, then these are the things will happen. And this is what kind of a death will come through like that. So this is some sort of a numerology and palmistry and things like that. Personally, maybe true, may not be true, but I don't recommend, I don't believe it like that. Okay. So then, what kind of a mathematical system we are following? Maybe people are interested to know like that. When we talk about the numbers, people should not misunderstand we are talking about the numerology just because we are mentioning the numbers. I see, after so many years of research about the numbers and a numerical value and a mathematical system, the numbers, it's a life. Numbers, it's science. Numbers, it's everything. Man cannot live without the numbers. I will explain few minutes how it is. if at all the child born or something like that, the child must be inside the womb of a woman minimum 9 months. If at all 7 or 6 months the baby comes out, you know what it is. Cannot live, survive. So the minimum numbers, minimum time, minimum months required before coming out. Okay, once born, normally any hospitals or anywhere, they take the babies and go and weigh the weight. Minimum 3 kilos. If not, it has to go through some treatment like that. So here the numbers starts with the numbers and growing with the numbers. Well, many countries, the children, even though they are very bright, they cannot simply go to the school as they like. The minimum years are fixed. 5 years, 7 years. It's a numbers. So when you are growing, okay, the maturity and everything for the male and female comes only in the teenage. It's a numbers. And then, how about your heart? It functioning, so many times beats. It's a numbers. How about the eyesight? If at all we go to the doctors, I have some problems. They test my eyes, then give plus minus numbers. All our inskirts goes with the numbers. Well, look at the currency, the money. Any any currency without the number, you know what it is. Yeah, the bank account, it's a numbers. You know, what about the day? You know, it goes with the day. If you just tell any date means it involves with the numbers, the day, the month, the year. Even if you miss it, one number, it's not a valid date. So the life is like that. Anything, chemistry, geography, history, or science, or architecture, or anything. You want to engineering, anything you want to construct, civil, electrical, mechanical, whatever. You may think about that. Without the height, numbers. Without the breadth, numbers. Without the length, numbers. You cannot do anything. How about the timings? Well, any work, any jobs, anywhere we work, first of all, we find out how much time we want it to work. What is the timings? Timings, you cannot say that, well, any amount of time I'm willing to work. You can't take that. Well, 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. Numbers. So, number is life. When you buy something, the cost, the price, based on the numbers. Any medicine, you take any medicines, how much, how many percentage of the alcohol and this and that inside it. It's a numbers. So what I mean is, the number is life. The number is a way of life. If you don't understand that, well, it's very difficult to live. So what interesting thing we found in the ancient literature, so there are some encoding numbers available commonly in all this literature, which denotes some secret meaning of that. So we did a lot of research with this kind of encoding numbering system in the Vedic literature, and then we tried with experiment those numbers perfectly working. So that is the reason we say like this: the O3 word in a second level operation, ancient wisdom; in a third level operation, mathematical system; in a fourth level operation, we based on these numbers, we ourselves have created some of the formulas for the healings, for the prosperity, for the wealth and everything. We created some formulas based on that. So we call one of the formulas called the Trivium Formula. So what do you mean by the Trivium Formula means? It's something like that. It goes, if anything created in the world, it goes with it's anything created, it divided by 3, multiplied by 7, in the end, plus minus by 1. So this is, we call it a Trivium Formula. It can work in anything. Take an example, if a person wants a health, then we apply this formula. How? Okay, a man, the health, first of all, divided by 3. What do you mean by that? Well, the humans, they have a soul, thinking part, and a spirit, speaking part, and the deed, and a body, and an action part. So what we do, we try to apply this formula. The person, the healing need in his soul, healing need in his spirit and a healing need in his body. That is called, first of all, the healing. When you want to create the healing in somebody's health, it has to go with number 3. Okay. And then it will be multiplied by 7. How it works like that? Under the soul, we have a 7 secrets. If at all the soul need to have a perfect health, perfect activation, it has to go with the 7 conditions. So that's a number, multiplication. Then we will check it out. If 1 or 2 is missing, then we will try to add up with the help of the O3 word and refill that gap. Then you will have the perfect health in the soul, spirit, body. So this is what we work. So this is, we call it a mathematical system. I don't think so, as far as my knowledge, I don't think so anywhere, any part of the world, in any research programs, they apply this kind of a mathematical system. So we call it a trivium mathematical system. So, take an example, astronomy. The scientists are telling this way. The skies, they have 3 levels. Okay, the first, the second, third skies. Even this Vedic literature are confirming that. So the modern science, the space scientists, they invented, there are 3 levels of the skies. Okay? The first, where we can fly, the aeroplanes can go because the air and the wind is there. The second level, they call it a Milky Way, where you cannot fly. Okay, only the rockets can go. And there all the planets are there. Okay? The America is sending people to the moon, and Russia is sending, and so many countries. The second level like that. The third level, stars, so far not able to find out, very far like that. Okay, here, the Vedic literature or the ancient wisdom is confirming when the O3 word created the skies. According to the Trivium Formula, it has divided the skies into 3. You got it. Then in the skies, in the first thing, there are 7 subjects are available. Second sky, 7 subjects are available. Secrets are available. Third sky, 7 secrets are available. So according to the Vedic literature, the number of the creation is 3. The number of the maintenance and the protection is 7. If 1 is missing, or 1 is adding up, then the destruction will come to the sun, moon, stars.
Same with our body.
Exactly, same thing like that. Take an example, you know very well, and scientifically it's accepted. The planets are moving on the pathway. Am I right?
Orbit.
Okay, orbit like that. So, it has its own speed. Okay, the speed is not supposed to increase +1. Then it will go on the dash other planet. Destruction comes like that. So, we go with the ancient wisdom, then we try to unlock the lot of questions and mysteries with this kind of things, help the people to understand these things like that. Yeah, right. And take an example, if you talk about the prosperity. Everybody is thinking about the money. The money wise, it's not wrong in that. We need a money. We like to grow and everything. It's all right. And I'm from India. If I wanted to come to Malaysia, means to run the program, I cannot fly. I need the money to come here, isn't it? So money is okay. No, my point is the prosperity. Even if a man has a lot of money, we have seen the histories from worldwide. The people, rich people, even though they reached, they gained billions of dollars, like a Mr. Bill Gates and people like that. Once they come to the level of reaching a billions of dollars, now what they do, they try to give as much as off to the charitable work. Yeah. The second richest man, the Warren Buffett, he does the same thing like that. Why? Because the money will not give you everything. The money will not satisfy everything. So what do you mean by that? So don't calculate the prosperity and a wealth in money wise. Okay. Then if you want to have a prosper in everything means, okay, first of all, your soul and thinking system must be wealthy. Your spirit and your wording system must be wealthy. Finally, your body must be wealthy. So again we apply the Trivium Formula. The wealth must go into the 3 areas.
So it's like a full alignment. So.
Exactly. So this is not simply faith, okay? I mean, don't ask any questions and you have to believe. It's not like that. We teach the systems, we train the people to understand, and then we don't come to the picture and help to operate everything. Do yourself. Then once you find successful, you help other friends. You teach and train other people and get it.
So it's like a mystical sort of teaching with sort of a logical background.
Exactly. Exact word you put it on. Right. Thank you.
So it's interesting,
Yeah. Thank you. I'm so thankful to the Enlighten is here to bring me into this program. I'm very, very happy about to knowing this kind of a program. I really wish and try to be a part of their program, behind supporting this program, so that not only the people from Asia, the people from worldwide, I wish and they should be benefited, not 30%, 60%, 100% of these programs. And thank you, viewers, as well as thank you, the programmers, with your kind cooperation, I could be able to come and see the viewers, and thank you from the depth of my heart.
Thank you.
Hoping to come back for more programs.
Yes.
All the best.
Wonderful to have you here.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
For the interested parties in Malaysia, you can contact us. There will be a link provided by Enlightening Asia, and we plan to come back to you with more information.
Thank you, viewers.
Thank you, for viewers for viewing our wonderful show today, and we do thank them, Dr. Palmoni and Ron.
Welcome.
Yes.
Welcome,
Thank
please.
you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
We love your information, so I'll see you then. Bye.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye.